This is not what Jesus that Jesus talking in Matthew's right. That's not what he's saying.
Right.
Jesus, you know, they done came here and misread that, and now the preachers is teaching and everybody teaching, and guess what? Everybody thinking when you tell somebody, hey, you have to keep the Sabbath. Oh, Jesus fulfilled it. We don't have to keep the
Right.
laws.
Right.
But why don't we just, that's why I invite you to sit down, get your pencil, get your paper, get your Bible, get your highlighter, get your popcorn, because we have a show too. Get you some popcorn because it'll be a show.
Right.
And let's just deal with the written word the way it's written in the Bible.
Deal with the
You ain't
boss.
got nobody. Don't stop letting somebody tell you. Well, let's just read it, Ma. Is that so hard to do?
No, sir.
If it was hard to do, I wouldn't ask Mark to read it.
That's
I
right.
would read it. I would read it myself. But since Mark is the reader, I'm gonna let him read it. Because I want to read sometime, but it reminds me of what my old profession I wanted to go into before. I wanted to be a speech therapist. That's what I wanted.
Hey, brother, just keep striving for it, bro. Keep striving for
it. Because you need to teach people how to say words like mama now. A lot of people don't know how to say that. So, maybe I'll resort back to my speech therapy one day. That's what I want it to be. But let's deal with this. Jesus came to fulfill the Old Testament writing about him. And I'm going to show you this. That's exactly what this verse is saying. Let's go to Matthew 5, Mark. Let's go to Matthew 5, man. And I hope everybody's and had a good week. I hope everybody's doing well.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
hope the Lord has been with you and blessing you, keeping you during this terrible time that we're having out here. But, when you got the Lord as your buckle and shield, man, sometimes it don't even seem like it's a pandemic. It don't even seem like that because, I know I'm protected. I know the Lord got his hedge around me. So I'm comforted in this time of trouble. So I don't know about you, but when you got a God like the God of Israel, you don't worry about too much, man. Don't too much come your way. So let's deal with this, but I just pray everybody.
By the way, before you get started, I'm Brother Mark.
Brother Mark, what's my name?
And that's Brother
Did I say
Melvin.
my name? I'm Brother Melvin. Now, we didn't say that tonight.
No, we ain't
Maybe
saying
because I'm drinking. Matthew 5, my daddy used to make some good coffee, boy, down in Arkansas. He put sugar, milk, cream, or whatever you want to call it, and he put another ingredient in it. Well, let's go on with the program. Matthew 5. Matthew 5. So Mark, if I get up and get to dance like one of them brothers last week, it's the coffee, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't drink too much.
So let's go to this Matthew 5, Mark. And let's look at this thing. Matthew 5, and I better do something about my phone because I don't want nobody else calling me right now, but we'll see. Matthew 5, and let's pick it up at verse 17. We're gonna read this one verse and we're gonna take a look at it. Go ahead, my brother.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Now you see what pay attention to what the verse say. He said, think not that I came to destroy the law. Right away they thinking the raw law. He said, all the prophets. First of all, why would the law and the prophet be going together? If he was talking about the commandment. Think not I come to destroy the commandments and the prophets. No. He said, think not I have come to destroy the law. hard, my preaching brothers that's out there preaching the word? Is this too hard for you to let the Bible tell the story? I know what you're going to say. You know what they're going to say. I ain't never read the Bible before. That's what and they'll preach it.
Right.
You might be easy for you. You'd have read it. I ain't never read that book before. So, but now is the time to read the Bible if you're a preacher.
That's right. That's right.
John 10, and let's pick it up at verse 30. John 10. Boy, I know some of them old flushaholic want me to flush the preachers that don't read the Bible. I know they want me to do it. Is they saying the thing, Antonio? They want me to get rid of the preachers that don't read the Bible. Okay, I'll get them down the drain.
If they don't, I do.
Okay, we got them out of the way. So let's go to John 10 and let's pick it up verse 30, Mark. This is Jesus talking to these Pharisees. Go ahead.
I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus answered them, many good works have I shown you from my Father. For which of those works do ye stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou being a man, maketh thyself God. Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods?
Is it written in the commandments? Is it written in the commandment? I said ye are God. He said, is it not written in your law?
Right.
In your law, is it written? He doesn't. So if this dealing with the commandment, we should find in the commandment where he said, ye are God.
Right.
But let's go and read what Jesus said. Is it not written in your law? Let's go to Psalms 82. Let's go to the law, which is the Old Testament. Let's go to the law. Psalms 82. Psalms 82. And let's pick it up at verse 1. Psalms 82 and verse 1. Man, that coffee getting better and better. Go ahead.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods.
Now skip down to verse 5, because he's standing in this congregation judging against all these gods. I wonder who these gods are. I'll tell you, it's man. Go ahead. Verse 5.
They knew not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Now you see that? So what was Jesus quoting? He said, is it not written in your law? In other words, because is it not written in the Old Testament?
Right.
That's why he said, think not I come to destroy the law. Because he's talking about, I didn't come to destroy the law and the prophet. The law and the prophet. In other words, I didn't come to destroy what they wrote about me in the law, which the prophet wrote about me in the law. I didn't come to destroy that. He said, I come to fulfill what the law, what the prophet wrote about me in the Old Testament.
That's right.
He ain't talking about the raw law. He didn't come to, he came to fulfill the right, and they done took this and took off running mile like he's talking about the law, the royal law, the thou shalt not. That is out of context. That is wrong. Let's go back to John 5. Let's go to John 15. I'm talking, what's so hard about reading this book, Mark? I'm talking, if you're going to stand up before a congregation, shouldn't you be able to read this book to them? I done invited preachers on this show to come on this show and sit with me. And you ain't got to agree with me. I just sit on here, let's reason in the word. That's all. But they act like they're afraid because, but I tell you who you shouldn't be afraid to say with me. who you should be afraid of. Oh, you know who I'm talking about? You should be afraid of, Mark.
To be afraid of the Lord, standing before Him.
That's the guy you need to be afraid of. That's the
Yeah.
guy. And see, I know. That's why I was trying to tell a young lady, Mark, I understand the punishment. If I mislead God's people, I understand the punishment that's gonna happen to me and you because you reading for me. So if I mislead them and you read, we gonna burn in that fire.
That's right. You is, because I ain't gonna let you do it, brother.
so we don't want to call on that, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So if I'm
right,
misleading the people, I know what this book say. If I mislead God's people, man, I'm not gonna do that. It's easier for me to do what? Zip them lips.
That's it, brother.
And I'm gonna put on a program and then stand before God's people and mislead them, and I know the consequence. Come on, brother. You know, I might not. I'm. How they go, Mark? I forgot how I go. I wasn't born last. Why I go? I wasn't born last night or something. You know how I go.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Yeah, right. You don't know nothing. You don't know. He's. I might have been born at night, but see, come on, man. But it wasn't last night. That's how it goes.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Antonio, you want to start putting a stripper for Mark to read, okay?
I forgot.
You forgot. John 15. John 15, let's pick it up at verse 22. John 15 and verse 22. I seen one of my old classmates out there down in Arkansas just keyed in, Brother Albert Smith. How you doing, Brother Albert? That's an old classmate. Me and him went to school together. I ain't gonna tell how long ago, but it's if you got a kid that was born, if your kid was in 74 was 1 year old, they about 40 some years old. So that's how long ago it's been. John 15 and 22, you was still a baby then, Ma. John 15 and 22, you were still a baby. So let's get into this word. John 15 and 22. Go ahead, my brother.
If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin.
See, that's why I guess that's why people don't want to listen to the show. Because if you listen to this show, it ain't no excuse for you not to understand the word that we putting on the table. You ain't gonna have nothing to hide behind, brothers and sisters, because we are reading this word. Skip down to verse. Go ahead with verse 23. Go ahead.
He that hateth me hateth my Father also. If I have not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause.
So this is written in the commandment that they hated Jesus without a cause.
Right.
No, it's written in the law. How many times we have to say this before you realize that the law is the Old Testament? Let's go and read what he just said, Ma. He said, but this come to pass that the word might be fulfilled. Ain't that what Jesus said he had to do, Ma?
That's right. He come to
fulfill. I got to fulfill. I didn't come to destroy what the prophet said. I come to fulfill what they said. Somebody tell me what this got to do with the royal law.
Come on now.
It got nothing to do with it. Let's go and let's look at what he's fulfilling. Let's go to Psalm 69. Psalm 69. Back to the Old Testament. Is it not written in your law? I wish some preachers see this, but you can stop telling people Jesus fulfilled the law. No, he fulfilled the Old Testament writing.
That's right, bro.
Psalm 69 and pick it up verse 3, Mark. Psalm 59 and verse 3. Go ahead.
I am weary of my crying. My throat is dry. My eyes fail while I wait for my God. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of my head. They that would destroy me being my enemies wrongfully are mighty. Then I restored that which I took not away.
See, it's a lot in that verse. Like, that's Jesus right here. This is Jesus talking about the mouth of David. You know, he said, they that hate me without a cause, because you don't have no reason to hate Jesus. Even these Israelite brothers now that's hating on Jesus. What reason you hating on him? Oh, ain't no J in Hebrew. You don't know. You wasn't there when the Hebrew was. Did you ever go to Hebrew school?
Right.
Did any of you graduate from? I went to Joshua Hebrew South High. Ain't none of y'all went to the Hebrew South High. So you don't know what they got in the English language, in the English language, in Hebrew. You wasn't there. Come on. But then he said, I take away. He said, then I restored that which I took not away. Jesus, see, most people don't know Adam took away eternal life from us.
Right.
Jesus said, I'm gonna restore you
right.
back to the opportunity where you can live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Still ain't got nothing to do with the royal law. Still, Jesus didn't come to do the royal law was already. Didn't nobody pay attention that Moses went up there with 2 stones in his hand? He had 2 stones. They had paper then. Moses could have said, "Hey, Moses, go down to the leader and get you 2 sheets of paper. Paper, you know, leader. That's the pay school paper. My leader, they the one make paper. Did you know that?" So, he could have told Moses, "Look, go down to the leader, get you 2 sheets of paper, come up here, and I'm gonna write the commandments on them."
That's right, brother.
But he told him get stoned because just in case, see, once somebody paper, I can erase some off of paper. God was trying to send you a message there. I'm writing this in stone. Why? Because I'm not going to change my mind about these commandments. I'm not going to change my mind about it. So I wrote them in stone when they had paper. They had the scrolls back then. You could have wrote on a scroll.
That's right,
Come
brother.
on, man. I'm telling Mark, you don't have to be a genius to understand the word of God. All you do is sit down and read and pray and ask the Lord for understanding, Mark.
There you go, brother. There you go. That's right.
And then don't be surprised when you ask him for understanding. He sent him to a person like myself or to you or to Brother Bowie. Don't be surprised. Don't think the Lord go, well, Lord, I'm praying for understanding. You think the Lord going to show up at your house?
Right.
If you think that, then I'm pretty sure you think Santa Claus going to show up at your house December the 25th.
Excuse me.
That's right. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14. And you know, Mark, what I was been thinking, I said, man, it's nothing spookery about the Bible.
That's
nothing
right.
Oh, you got to read it. And you know what? I've been watching on Facebook. Every time somebody pins somebody in the corner, well, you don't understand the spirit. You need to have you don't understand the natural. See, you thinking with a natural mind.
Right,
All you got to do is read this word, man. Ain't no magic in this word. All the word, we always looking for some magic, Mark. That's why you go to church and some preacher slap his hand on your forehead and you fall out and you think, boy, they having church there. I'm done. But then when you get up, guess what, Mark? And somebody asks, when did Jesus die? Oh, he died Good Friday, rose early Sunday morning.
Right.
You just fell out for nothing.
Just fell out for nothing. Still don't know nothing.
And you fall out in the wrong church. Big Jacob might pick your pocket. He fall out.
Right.
Let's go. 1 Corinthians 14. We just gonna read the book, Ma. 1 Corinthians 14, and let's pick it up at verse 20. Go ahead.
Brethren, be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. And yet, for all that will not hear me, said the Lord.
He said, brother, be not cheering and understanding. He said, be not cheering and understanding. Here be it in malice be ye cheering, but in understanding be men. He said, in the law it's written. In the law. Is it written in the commandment? In the thou shalt not?
Right.
It's written in the Old Testament, brothers and sisters. Let's go read it. Let's go to Isaiah 28. It's written in the law. This is the law, brothers and sisters. This is the law right here. But sometimes when you read about the law, it actually is talking about the commandment. But at this time, it's talking about the Old Testament. Think not I come to destroy the law. Because Jesus, you know, all that stuff. See, them guys that know all that stuff was written about Jesus. I didn't come to destroy that. Everything they said about me, I'm going to fulfill it all.
There you go. That's right.
That's right. Isaiah 28 is written in the law. Let's read Isaiah 28 in verse 11. We in the law now. Do you see the commandments anywhere, Mark, in this law we read now? Isaiah 28 and 11. Go ahead.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
I think he removed himself from the camera real quick. Give the brother a second. Just want to thank everybody that's out there watching right now. We got a house full, man. People out here all over the world. Exactly. I mean,
praise the Lord.
Just to throw some names out there, some of our normal callers, man. We got some regular calls. I think he posted out there today too about the those top people that have been following the class for like 8 months. Here we go.
Okay, following the show.
Yep, he's coming back now.
Okay, praise the Lord.
Did everybody disappear with me?
No, just you, brother.
It got to be the coffee.
You need to put that down.
I'm gonna have this every week now. But go ahead and did you finish reading that? Read start low, Isaiah 28 and 11. Start low, because I disappeared right. Say it was the coffee. Okay. Verse 11. Start read that over, Mark. Isaiah 28, because he says it's written in the law.
Okay. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
Go ahead.
To whom he said,
Oh, you read 12?
Yeah, I read 12.
That's it.
Yeah.
You have to put that coffee down, Mark. I know you got some on that table. You see how we keep coming back to the Old Testament. They're not saying it's written in the Old Testament. They say it's written in the law. Matthew 13, Mark. Let's go there. Let's go there, man. You know, what's so hard about reading? What's so hard about reading?
It's not.
I'm talking, they done made up a whole doctrine around Jesus came to fulfill the law. You don't have to keep them old laws no more. Man, we got to get that out of there. We got to flush that down.
There you go, brother. Get out of flush.
So let's go, Mark. We're going to Matthew 13.
Yep.
And you see how this is just plain reading here. It's not hard. And come on, man, it's easy. Matthew 13:34. This is almost so easy. I really don't even need a reader tonight. But go ahead, since you since you're here, go ahead and read.
We almost didn't have you, but I'm gonna go ahead and read, bro. All these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world.
And he said he gonna utter his mouth. He said that it might be fulfilled, spoken by the prophet, which he said, I come not to destroy what these guys wrote about me. Let's go and read. Let's go and see what this is being fulfilled at. Let's go back to Psalm 78. Now you'll know who this talking in verse 78. Now you know this is Jesus talking. This is Jesus talking in Psalm 78. I want you to pay attention to what Jesus is saying, because he came to fulfill this, because he said he was going to open his mouth in parable.
That's right.
Psalm 78 and verse 1. Go ahead, Mark.
Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us.
Now, who is this open his mouth in a parable? Ain't this Jesus right here?
Yes, sir.
This is Jesus. Skip down to verse 5, Mark, and go ahead. Let's see what he's going to say in this parable. Go ahead.
For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who shall arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments.
Oh, no, they didn't keep his command. This is Jesus opened his mouth in a parable.
That's right.
He's opened his mouth in a parable. He said that the generation come might know them, even the children which should be born, who shall arise and declare to them, to their children. So when do we stop declaring this to our children?
We don't stop.
As long as we got generations, we're supposed to declare this to our children, that they might set their hope in God and not forget the work of God and do what? But keep his commandments. But Jesus came to fulfill the commandments. You can't read that nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere. Let's go back to Matthew 21. You can't read that in the Bible, brothers and sisters. Where are they getting this false teaching from? Who is the one that's bringing to my Jesus came to fulfill the law? You absolutely right. He did come to fulfill the law, which is the Old Testament right.
That's right.
Matthew 21, Mark, pick it up at verse 1. We're going to show you all the stuff that Jesus fulfilled. Go ahead.
And when they drew nigh unto Jerusalem and were come to Bethphage unto the Mount of Olives, then sent Jesus 2 disciples.
Mark, is that you barking? Is that you barking?
No.
I heard you barking.
No, man.
Go ahead.
And when they drew nigh unto Jerusalem and were come to Bethphage unto the Mount of Olives, then sent Jesus 2 disciples, saying unto them, Go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied, and a colt with her loose them and bring them unto me. And if any man say aught unto you, ye shall say, The Lord have need of them, and straightway he will send them.
Now let's skip down to verse 4 and go ahead. See what happened. Go ahead to verse 4. Go ahead.
All this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell ye the daughter of Zion, behold, thy king cometh unto thee, meek and sitting upon an ass, and a coat the foal of an ass.
Now, all of this, you know, I wonder what the preachers think when they be reading all this stuff. You know, how many times we gonna read all? I'm talking this is so many times. All this was done that it might be fulfilled. I'm talking, how many times we gonna read this before you get it in your fat head that is not, well, my head fat. I'm talking about my head. I own brothers.
There you go.
I got it into my fat head that this is talking about the Old Testament. The Old Testament. Let's go and read what he said. He said that what that fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. Jesus had to fulfill. They couldn't write all this stuff, and Jesus couldn't come and fulfill it. Let's go to Zechariah. Zechariah 9. We're gonna read one verse. The very thing that Jesus came and fulfilled. And Jesus rode in on that ass, a coat of folding of ass. He did this stuff. At least we know one somebody read the Bible, Jesus. And he knew exactly what to do.
That's right.
Verse 9, Zechariah 9 and 9. Zechariah 9 and 9. Go ahead.
Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, and upon a coat, the foal of an ass.
Ain't that what we just read?
Yes,
Did we just read that in Matthew?
Yep.
Zechariah wrote this. Jesus had to do what? He had to fulfill this.
Fulfill it.
Man, Mark, this is a hard lesson, ain't it?
Yeah. No, it's not hard. You just got to read.
Oh man, Mark, you on the money tonight. You done picked it up. Let's go to, for that, we're gonna go to Mark. Let's go to Mark. Mark 14. Let's go to Mark 14. And we're gonna pick it up at verse 18. Mark 14 and 18. Man, this thing is super simple. Super simple. Antonio, did you make my poster for next week? Because we got a backup topic to go with this for next week. Did you make that poster?
Yes, sir.
We'll throw it up there for they can see what we're gonna deal with next week. It's a compliment to this lesson. The laws and the commandment are from the Lord, not Moses. See, because next week we're gonna deal with the people talking about that Mosaic law. Right. Moses don't have no law. We're gonna talk about that next week. Next week, if the Lord is willing. If we be here, that's what we're gonna talk about. Mark, let's go to Mark 14 and 18. Go ahead and read that. Go ahead.
And as they sat and did eat, Jesus said, Verily I say unto you, one of you which eateth with me shall betray me. And they began to be sorrowful, and to say unto him one by one, Is it I? And another said, Is it I? And he answered and said unto them, It is one of the 12 that dipped with me in the dish.
See, sometimes we be so nosy. Hold on. Sometimes we be so nosy, Mark. Sometimes we be so nosy. Now, Jesus, they want to know his eyes. He told us the one that when I dip, I'm going to pass the bowl to him. And you know, they still missed it.
Right.
Still. And, you know, Jesus told us, now, that's the one. Don't, you know, everybody wants his eye. Judas sat back. He ain't saying nothing. He just said, man, how much bread? He sitting back, ain't saying nothing.
Right.
Read verse 21. Go ahead.
The Son of Man indeed goeth, as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Good were it for that man if he had never been born.
Woo! Now you see what he's saying. So you know what they're telling me. He let me know, Judas, you don't have to do this. The Son of Man He said, the Son of Man indeed go as is written of him. You know, but you don't have to be the one to betray me. Somebody gonna betray me because it's written. But it don't have to be you, Judas. Just like it's written in the Bible that Israel gonna be hid away in prison houses.
Right.
Somebody's going to prison, mob, but it don't have to be me or you. It's up to you. All you got to do is do the right thing. But guess what? Somebody's going. You know why? Because the Bible said we're going to be hid away in prison houses.
That's right, bro. That's right. And
that's what he's trying to let Judas know. He said, look, man, the Son of Man go indeed as is written of him. He's all this stuff. Man, somebody got to deceive. Somebody got to sell me out. So it's written. That's what he's telling. All this stuff about me is written. Let's go to Psalm 69. Go back to Psalm 69. I'm told that's why when Jesus showed up on the scene, Israel should have recognized this guy. Just like now, he done showed up on the scene in the teaching and don't nobody recognize it. Why don't nobody recognize this guy?
Right.
He's all over the Old Testament.
Yes,
but
sir.
You only run into him in Matthew, Luke. You think he's just coming into existence when he gets to Matthew. Come on, brothers and sisters. Come on now. We got to wake up. How they say in church, come on, somebody. Man, y'all make me go back on y'all. Psalm 69. Psalm 69. And let's pick it up verse 6. Psalm 69 and verse 6. Go ahead.
Let not them that wait on thee, O Lord God of hosts, be ashamed for my sake. Let not those that seek thee be confounded for my sake, O God of Israel, because for thy sake I have borne reproach. Shame have covered my face.
Now skip down to verse 20 and go ahead.
Reproach have broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness. And I look for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink.
Now who is this talking here?
That's Jesus.
Is this David talking here? This is Jesus telling you this because he know he had to do this. And pay attention when we go to John 19 and let's show you why he had to do this. He's in my thirst they gave me vinegar. Jesus wasn't even when I read this, it make me think Jesus wasn't even thirsty, but he knew what was written. Right. Look how this reads. Pay attention to this. John 19 and verse 28. John 19 and verse 28. Go ahead.
John 19 and 28. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, said, I thirst.
Do it sound like Jesus was thirsty? He said, all things have been accomplished. And he in all this pain, and he didn't forget one little what? One little jot. Because he knew he had to drink that vinegar. He had to drink that vinegar. He said, hey, man, I thirst. And what did they do then? Go ahead.
Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar and put it upon hyssop and put it to his mouth.
Go ahead.
When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost.
Now, you know, I'm going to flush that verse. You know why I'm going to flush? I'm going to flush it first. And then I'm going to tell you why I'm flushing that verse. I'm going to flush that. I wonder, do y'all know why I'm flushing this verse? That 30th verse. When Jesus therefore had received, the vinegar, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. In other words, he died. I'm going to flush that down.
Because they say he ain't died.
Do y'all know why I flushed that down? Because them lying preachers, they get right here. See, it was finished. God said it was finished. They make a whole sermon off of this.
Right.
Make a whole sermon. Get on YouTube and just type in "it's finished" and see how many preachers lying about it's finished. Jesus was telling them, "It is finished. I have fulfilled everything that's written about me from being a baby all the way to dying on the cross. I ain't fulfilled it all yet. I got to do some more. I feel all this thing coming as the lamb. I still got to come back as the Lion of Judah. I ain't fulfilled that yet, but I done fulfilled. It's finished. I done did all what the Lord sent me to do. I done died on the cross. I done restored that which I didn't take away, which was salvation. It's finished. But other preachers be preaching, oh, it's finished. God finished the law. He finished my headaches. He finished my wife's pregnancy. Just everything.
He did everything. Amen. And some I done heard some preachers say that he didn't really die.
Man, why you interfere when I was into my good preaching?
I had to slow you down. I had to slow you down.
But yeah, they come up all this. But what is he really saying? He's saying it's finished. I have did what I told you I was going to do. I kind of fulfill the law in the testament that's written about me up to dying on the cross. That part is finished.
That's right.
Blood time is finished. That's why all he was saying. But then it made a whole lie. Let's go to Luke 24. Go to Luke 24. I'm talking about this is so simple, man. I'm talking about, man. But Mark, you know what? You and I, we the one that's crazy. We crazy because we reading the Bible.
Yeah,
we reading the Bible. Exactly. So I wish somebody would listen to come out here and show me what Jesus came to fulfill the law. Even though next week I'm gonna get into where you say Christ is the end of the law, but you better find out what law did Christ end.
That's right, bro.
You better find out what law he end. So you make sure you tune in next week. Luke 24, Mark, pick it up at verse 36. Luke 24, and I know the audience, Antonio, they getting restless out here tonight after all that dancing last week. They probably
they bored.
Yeah, boring. Right. What they say? Hated it. I'm sorry we can't have all that dancing this week, but this is the word of God. You know, Luke 24 and verse 36. Luke 24 and verse 36. See, I should have had another co-host tomorrow tonight after last week's show. Should have let Julius come on and host the show tonight. And then oh, that show wasn't quite as fire as last week. Then I could put it on Julius.
Right. That's
so, Luke 24 and verse 36. This is a knowledge. This is one of them good knowledge lesson that you can take back to somebody plain and simple. You know, Luke 24 and verse 36. Now this is Jesus been resurrected. He pop in on the disciples on the lakeside fishing, and they get all crazy. Go ahead.
And as they thus spake, Jesus himself stood in the midst of them and said unto them, Peace be unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a spirit. And he said unto them, Why are ye troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Behold, my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit have not flesh and bones, as ye see me have. And when he had thus spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet.
Now Jesus asked these guys, why are you guys so troubled, man? What is wrong with y'all? He said, why you think you're seeing a ghost? You know, they think they seen a spirit or he's an angel. You know, he said, I'm not an angel. You know, I'm not a spirit. He said, help me. Look at the the nail prints in my hand. That's a shame you have to always convince Israel. This man just popped up.
Right.
You know, that should have been enough right there. I ain't messing with nobody. If somebody pop in here and ask me to say anything to me, I'm going to be, whatever you say, I'm believing, because you just popped in. You know, and they worried about it. Skip down to verse 44, or 44, I mean. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me.
Hey, that's what he said in Matthew. He could have, he said, he could have said it like, these are the words that I spoke to you in Matthew 5:17. While I was yet with you, that all things that's written in the Old Testament, which Moses written, and all the rest of the prophets written, and the stuff that's written in Psalm concerning me. Ain't that's what Matthew 5:17 said?
That's right, bro.
Same thing.
That's right.
Same thing. Go ahead, read the next verse.
Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scripture, and said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved Christ to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day.
No, rise on Sunday. You know, because you can't see, right? Once again, see, if you read this, you can't get no 3 days and 3 nights from Good Friday to early Sunday morning. So if you dealing with a Jesus that died Good Friday and rose early Sunday morning, what he just said in his 46th verse don't fit.
That's right, bro.
It don't fit, because you make him fulfill some stuff that he didn't say. He didn't say he was going. He said, I'm gonna be he right there. If you want to go back and fulfill what he wrote there, that's what's written about him even in Daniel. Even in before he died on the cross, he told them, those Pharisees, I'm gonna be in the grave 3 days, just like Jonah was in the whale's belly for 3 days and 3 nights. I'm gonna be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. And you get up early Sunday morning, claim Jesus died Good Friday, and you come to church in all your high yellow clothes, all your fancy clothes, and your little kids got these little old speeches in their mouth talking about a rabbit, and you think they got something to do with God.
That's right, bro.
Somebody needs some help. I'm about to say it again. Come on, somebody. You know, I'm talking, this is plain. This is plain. This is plain, simple reading the Bible. Let's go to Matthew 5. Let's go back to Matthew 5 now. Go back to Matthew 5. Let's deal with that verse a little more. And we almost out of here, Mark. We almost gonna get out of here on time today. Man, maybe I'll throw in a few dance. Maybe, Mark, you think you might can dance?
Hey man, we're gonna leave that alone, bro.
Okay, Matthew 5. I'm just trying to get them, get everybody's dribbling going. Matthew 5 in verse 17. Matthew 5, let's read back verse 17 now. Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Now we understand that he's talking about the Old Testament. I didn't come. That don't have nothing to do with the commandments.
Right.
Have nothing to do with the commandments. Haven't we proved that by simply just reading the Bible? We done proved that, Mark.
That's right.
Verse 18, go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Now,
he said, he's still talking about the Old Testament here. He said, verily I say unto you, until heaven and earth pass. Have heaven and earth passed yet, Mark?
No, sir.
He said, one jot or one tittle in no wise gonna pass from the law. He's still talking about the Old Testament.
Right.
Until all is fulfilled. Because Jesus ain't fulfilled a part of him coming back as the Lion of Judah. He ain't fulfilled that yet. So ain't nothing, he said, ain't nothing, and once it's fulfilled, it can pass away. He said, but not until heaven and earth pass away, one jot. Let me show you what he's talking about. Let me show you something that haven't been fulfilled yet. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30. I like to take Israel back right back up to their slavery.
What about 19 and 20?
We didn't read 19 and 20?
No, sir.
Okay, my brother. I guess that coffee got me moving, got me a little hot. I'm moving fast. Go ahead and read that 19. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Now, verse 19, now he's talking about the law. He's talking about the commandments. He done went to the commandments. He done went to the commandments. He said, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. See, well, at least I'm being called, but you need to find, let's go to Isaiah 66. I'm going to patch that in because I need to show you the least in the kingdom. Let's go to Isaiah 66, and then we'll come back here. Let's go to Isaiah 66, Miles. Because sometimes people, well, you call in the kingdom, at least he called. Okay, let's see the least in the kingdom. Isaiah 66. And we're going to pick it up at verse 22. Isaiah 66 and 22. Read that, Mark.
For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, said the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
Now he's talking about Israel right there. He's talking about Israel right there. He's talking to Israel. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Lord.
See, hold on, Mark. Hold on. You need to get a pencil because I know there's got to be an error. It should be from one Sunday to another.
No, sir. No,
that's not an error? So we're going to do it for one Sabbath, not one Sunday to another, when Jesus be back here on the earth, because Jesus is on the earth when this happens. He said from one Sabbath to one new moon, I'm dealing with those feast days.
Yes, sir.
You're going to deal with these Sabbaths. You ain't going to deal with Sunday in Jesus' kingdom. Go ahead. What going to happen? He said, from one Sabbath to another shall all flesh come and worship before me, said the Lord. And what they going to do when they come up and worship? Go ahead.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
Now they in the kingdom, they worship before the Lord. Then he said, hold up, before y'all leave, before we turn out, because he ain't gonna be taking up all them 15 offerings. Right. Before you go over there. Now you're in the kingdom now. What did he tell you to do? Go over and look up on the carcass of the men because this is going to be the false prophet and the beast that's going to be in the lake of fire. Because where is that at where your worms don't die at, Ma? And your fire ain't going to be quenched. That's the lake of fire.
Lake of fire.
And you're going to be in the kingdom and you're going to be able to go over and look on these guys?
Yep.
That's the least part of the kingdom, brothers and sisters.
Yes,
you in the kingdom. Just like the chicken, Ma, is in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen, but the chicken is in the pot. In some hot water. So we both in the kitchen, but the chicken in a whole different situation. This is the same thing. Yeah, you in the kingdom, in the least part of the kingdom, which is the lake of fire. Brothers and sisters, all you have to do is read this book. Read this book. Now, we read, now I'm going to go back. You ain't got to go back with me because I just want to remind you. He said, verily I say unto you, I went back to 5 and 18. He said, verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the Old Testament until all is fulfilled. Let me show you what he's talking about. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and let's look at it. See if this passed away yet. See how this has been fulfilled. Pick it up at verse 1, Mark. Deuteronomy 30, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul.
He said it's gonna come to pass. It ain't came to pass yet. He said, right. When all these things shall come upon thee, the blessing, which the blessing most of that is past. He said, and the curses is that you're gonna be sold into a stranger land, like America. And once you get here, you're gonna be sold as male and female slaves. I'm bringing all this to mind. He said, you're gonna bring this to mind, and that they're gonna kill you and hold themselves not guilty, and you're gonna be marching up and down the street. Wondering right. Why all of this is happening to me, because it's written in this book. That's why it's happening to you. Right, just like Jesus had to fulfill what's written about him, you got to fulfill what's written about you.
That's right, brother.
And he wrote what got to be filled on us. We gonna get a lot of head whooping, and we are getting a premium head whooping right now.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. So I'm not mad at the white man because it's not at the hand of the white man. It's the hand of prophecy in the hand of our forefathers that sinned against God. Everybody got to drink out of their cup. We are drinking out of the cup that the Lord set before us. And we got a big cup. We got that big old supersized cup, that we got to drink of. He said, you gonna call all this to mind. Verse 3, Ma, and let's see if this is coming to pass yet. Go ahead.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God have scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee.
Mark, have that come to pass yet? Have the Lord, he said, verse 3, he said, then the Lord thy God should turn thy captivity. Oh, so how is he going to turn our captivity if we free men?
That's right.
Maybe you ain't free as you think you are. Right. He said, right. And have compassion on thee. And the key something he said, and will return. The Lord going to return and gather thee from all nations where the Lord thy God have scattered thee. He said, if any of thy be driven out unto the utmost parts of heaven. He turned under the heaven. He said, from this will the Lord thy God gather thee, and for hence will he fetch thee. Have this come to pass yet?
No, sir.
This ain't been fulfilled. Let's go in Matthew 24. He's gonna tell you let me tell you when this goes. He's gonna tell you when it's gonna be fulfilled. Matthew 24.
What about 5 and 8?
5 and 8. Mark, you reading too slow tonight. You didn't read. Now I gotta flip my Bible all back.
That coffee got you on 20.
you know you right on the verge of getting flushed. Go ahead with verse 5, man. Go ahead.
And the Lord thy God will bring thee into land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Now skip down to verse 8 and go ahead.
And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
Have this been fulfilled?
No, sir.
So if this ain't been fulfilled, and he just told you in Matthew 5 that not one jot gonna pass from this Old Testament till it's fulfilled, what you gonna return and do, Ma? You gonna return and keep his commandments.
That's right.
He gonna have he fulfilled this yet? Since you think, even if you think he came to fulfill the Old Testament, this haven't been fulfilled. Jesus haven't returned yet. Let's go and see when he gonna return, Ma. Let's go to Matthew 24. Is you keeping up now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Notice a tough lesson. You getting a little fuzzy, but I'm gonna try to get you through it. Matthew 24, and let's pick it up at verse 27. Go ahead.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Now skip down to verse 29. Let's see when the Son of Man gonna come. Go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
You gonna see this guy. This ain't happened yet. He said immediately after the tribulation.
That's
the tribulation haven't happened yet. So after the tribulation ain't happened yet, then Jesus ain't came yet. Then guess where Israel is? We still in captivity.
Still in captivity. That's right, bro.
Still in our enemy's land. America, America is not our land, brothers and sisters. We've been here all our life. But Jesus gonna come and take your little African American self back to your father's land.
Right.
This is what he's talking about. Let's make sure we read at the same time. Verse 31, Ma. Go ahead.
And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another.
Now, ain't that what didn't he say he was going to gather Israel from one end of the earth to the other?
That's right.
But right here, Mark, it said to elect.
That's
what he said. He said he going to gather his elect. Maybe we need to find out who is his elect.
That's right.
Let's go to Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45. Let's find out who is God's elect. (45) in verse 4. And this is gonna wrap it up for the night, Mark. Unless you gonna do a little dance or something.
No, doing no dance, bro.
Isaiah 45. And pick it up at verse 4. Go ahead.
For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel my elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
Man, ain't that a true statement? He
Yes,
said,
sir.
Jacob my servant's sake, Israel is my elect.
That's right, bro.
He said, I have called thee by my name. That's what he's saying there. Most people don't even have a clue that Israel is God's name.
Yes, sir. Yes,
How does
sir.
the name, you African American? You don't want to be called by the name that God gave you. You want to be an African American. He said, but you know why you want to be African American? Because thou have not known me. You don't know the Lord. You don't know this God, this great God of Israel. You know, Jesus came to fulfill all this stuff that's written about him when he came in the flesh, when he came flesh and blood. And he fulfilled every drop of it, even down to drinking the vinegar, Mark.
That's right, brother.
Jesus didn't come to get rid of the raw law. I'm talking Jesus, that had nothing to do with it. Put up what we're gonna talk about next week again, Antonio, and then I turn the floor over to you. The law and the commandments are from the Lord, not Moses. This is for all those good people out there think that see we not under the Mosaic law no more. Moses don't have no law, and Jesus didn't fulfill them. So it look like these laws still here, Ma. Is heaven and earth still out there?
Yes, sir. Still there.
Didn't have what we read in Deuteronomy passed away yet? No, it haven't.
No, it
Brother,
haven't.
I pray that you got some understanding out of this easy going lesson. And I'm sorry I couldn't convince Mark to dance at the end. But Antonio, who we got out there tonight, my brother?
Yes, my brother. We got my wife Nicole Davis out here tonight. My
And
mom
Nicole,
Brown watching tonight as well. We got Bradley Dean, Von Ray
Brad,
Sanders Sr. from St. Louis, Missouri, Reginald Israel,
Savon,
SB Flowers,
Reg,
Tumbe Yanhosa,
Sabrina,
Jerome Charleston. We got Sharon Cooper, Carl Billingsley, Kyle Brown, Harold Walker. Like I mentioned,
yeah,
Joe Brown, Mark waiting on the King Israel, Vivian Israel, P. Israel from Masson, Illinois, Willie Andrews, Harold Gentry,
B,
Winfrey Street. We got Buster Dan from Decatur, Georgia, Amanda Flagger, Ramona Castros, Paul Carter Sr., Courtney Fisher, Mama Tish, Ashon Cummings, Kim Cantrell from Springfield, Illinois, Naphtali Israel, Lady J, Israel Cloder, Reginald Page, Avaya Israel, Bruce Terry,
Reg,
Kristen Bether from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Roger Morgan, Cheryl Thomas, Clifford Page, Christopher Evans, Called and Chosen One, Mary Scott Macklin from Cleveland, Ohio, Called and Chosen One from Chaneyville, Virginia. We got Fred Haley, Antoinette Simpson from Cleveland, Ohio, Miss J. Flagger, Sharon Christian Harmon from St. Louis, Missouri, Marcelino Molino, hope my brother's doing well, India Burnett, Crystal Horton, Ravonda McDowell from Jefferson, South Carolina, Willie Denny from Aurora, Colorado, Janet A. Thompson, Joey Johnson from Trinidad, Zachariah Ben Israel, John Lester, Lee West, Val Davis, Rashida Pankey, James Missy, Antoinette Simpkins, Daryl Nunn, Yadiah Hadessa Israel, Marvin Alexis from the Riverdale class, Terrence Johnson, Bruce Gandy True, Kathy Clemens from Atlanta IOG, Frederick Williams, Kenya Clark, Tariza Andrews, Buster Dan, Asa K. Fingers, Latoya Potts, Brendan Beauclair Hayden, Odessa Anderson, Adrian Mason, Lou Miles, Donna Burnett, Albert Smith, Yolance Yah Israel, Steve Fleshman, Yvonne Fleshman, Smell Cool Beans. We got Mary Scott Macklin, Michelle Jones. We Care for Others nonprofit, Felicia Jameson, Sandra Miles Johnson, Jeffrey Beard. I think I'm getting down to the last of these numbers. Oh, that's it, brother. So far. Hold on, see, I got some more coming in. Michael Bernadette Bell from Beaumont, Texas. And I forgot to mention my brother Byron Nettles and Jabez, they watch party that they got out there. Nino Gold. Marika Barat. And hey, Mama Brenda. She out there as well watching with us tonight. I think that's it, my brothers.
Yes, and also I always like to wave at my little great grandbaby Ashton. I know he's watching in Grand Rapids, you know, if you went out on our page on Come On In My Room, I put the top followers out there on Come On In My Room. You know, we don't pick those persons that get this top following. Somehow, I guess Facebook pick them. So the top followers, I put it out there on Facebook, but we appreciate everybody that follow Come On Into My Room. But we had 3 new comers this week. So you can go out on my Facebook, on the Come On In My Room Facebook page, and you can see who those top followers are. We really appreciate you guys for those are the people that's most engaged in the program, you know, kicking that word out and getting it out there. Because, you know, if it wasn't for you guys, you know, we need you guys to put that word and share and put that word out there. And we really appreciate everything you guys do. And, you know, and if any of you guys out there in the chat room, if you need some help with your flushing habit, I'll give you my 800 number, and maybe you can call and I'll see can I get you some help with y'all's flushing that.
We had to get Dr.
Pastor
Potts.
Johnson, you know who I know has got a flushing that? Pastor Johnson got a flushing that. We'll have to work with him. But hey, everybody, we do appreciate everybody tuning in. I thank God for each. I thank God for each and every one of you, and I pray that the Lord keep you until we can come back here next Monday. Stay blessed. Watch that virus out there, and just stay prayed up. Keep your armor on. Keep that full armor on. Make sure you protect the head all the way down to the feet, and that's wrapping your whole body in the Word of God. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go out on a limb, so you'll be all right. So hey, I thank you for tuning in. Mark, you got anything you like to say before we get out of here?
You said it all, brother.
So you see what I mean, Antonio? When I give him an opportunity to say something, he thought I said it all. Okay. Hey, once again, everybody take care. Be blessed. You got Jabaz. Jabaz, I see you down there in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Brother Baron in Beaumont, Texas. Them brothers had that watch party going. We really appreciate that. And one brother had mentioned me about having an 800 number. You know, maybe after the show, I'm gonna put the 800 numbers out there if somebody want to call in, and we'll start taking a few comments after the show. That's if you guys want to hang around after the show, because I know some of y'all have things to do.
Sure.
So we're not gonna take no calls tonight. But Antonio, put that 800 number out there so they can see it. And at the end of the show, maybe next week, we'll take a few calls. We ain't gonna take a whole lot. That's the 800 number. You can call this number. And once I'm about this 800 number, it only worked during the show. It only worked during the show and maybe about 30 minutes after the show. So sometimes we can talk at least 30 minutes after the show, and other than that, that's how long that 800 number works. So hey man, I really appreciate everybody. I hope you can stay blessed. Like I said, keep that virus away from you and have a blessed week. Mark, I will be talking to you out throughout the week, and we getting ready to come back. Man, I'm ready to come back in the room already.
Hey, praise the Lord.
Man, I like my work, man. This is the work that the Lord then gave us to do, Mark, and we got to do a good job. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you. And Antonio, key that music.
seems to me like a fairy dream. I'm often both amazed and dazed with its mercies and its love. Oh, how good God has been to me.
God truly was good to Charles Spurgeon, one of the greatest preachers who ever lived. During his lifetime, Spurgeon preached to vast crowds. He faithfully made known the great truths of the gospel to millions of men and women in his ministry. And he continues to do so today, more than a century after his death. I'm one of them. My name is Jeremy Walker, and I'm a pastor and preacher at Maidenbower Baptist Church. Growing up, I heard the name of Spurgeon fairly regularly, but my first real personal exposure to him came when I was reading in my room at university. It was this particular volume that I had, a modern reprint of the New Park Street Pulpit by Charles Spurgeon. The first sermon in this volume is on the immutability of God. And as I began to read, I was gripped. Spurgeon begins by talking about the unchangeable essence of God, his unchangeable attributes, his unchangeable plans, and his unchangeable promises. But the first words that really gripped my mind had to do with God's unchanging threatenings. Spurgeon writes, "You must believe or be damned, saith the Bible." And mark, that threat of God is as unchangeable as God himself. "And when 1,000 years of hell's torments shall have passed away, you shall look on high, and see written in burning letters of fire, He that believeth not shall be damned. But Lord, I am damned. Nevertheless it says, shall be still. And when 1,000,000 ages have rolled away, and you are exhausted by your pains and agonies, you shall turn up your eye and still read, shall be damned, unchanged, unaltered." He goes on to explain that God is unchanging in the objects of his love. But what gripped me was Spurgeon's sense of spiritual reality, and I thought, this is a man who's speaking to my experience and my heart. I moved on from this to other volumes like The Saint and His Saviour, a book full of sweetness concerning the relationship of a saved sinner with the Lord Jesus Christ, and from these on to his autobiography, Wanting. In his biography of Charles Spurgeon, W.Y. Fullerton wrote, "With its great hemisphere of sky, Essex, like Nazareth of the olden days, lies near the stream of the world's traffic, but is shut off from it." And Spurgeon, in his touch with the life of his time, his aloofness from it, and his open vision of the wide heavens, resembles his native country. Essex is where the story of Charles Spurgeon begins, here in the small village of Kelvedon. In the house behind me, John and Eliza Spurgeon welcomed their firstborn son Charles into the world on the 19th of June 1834. He was the first of 17 children, although only 8 of them survived infancy. Spurgeon's early life in Kelvedon was brief. Within 10 months of his birth, his family moved to Colchester, and 4 months later, 16-month-old Charles came to live with his grandparents, James and Sarah, in Stambourne. Why would John and Eliza send their little boy to live with his grandparents? The truth is, we just don't know. But one thing we can say with certainty is that while it might seem strange to us, it was exactly what God planned for Spurgeon. For it was here that God would begin to draw Charles to himself. The elder Spurgeon, James, ministered to Stambourne's meeting house, which was home to a surprisingly large congregation since 1810. The meeting house was one of the last burning embers of Puritanism, a form of Christianity known for its Christ-exalting doctrine and intense commitment to personal holiness. The elder Spurgeon held a strong grasp of the scriptures and of the Puritans' writings. In fact, one of James' hearers once said, "I could mount on wings as eagles after being fed such heavenly food." There can be no doubt. The Lord knew exactly what he was doing, sending young Charles here. James and Sarah's youngest daughter, 17-year-old Anne, was delighted to have Charles in their home. He quickly became the beneficiary of her love and care. In many ways, she was a second mother to him, caring for him as she would her own child, and teaching him how to crawl, walk, and talk. She was also a passionate Christian, and sought to promote his spiritual welfare through her life and daily example.
In Stambourne stood the child's rocking horse. This was the only horse I ever enjoyed riding. Every animal was far too eccentric in their movements. The law of gravity usually draws me from my seat upon them to a lower level. Therefore, I am not an inveterate lover of horses. I can, however, testify of my Stambourne steed that it was a horse on which even a member of Parliament might have retained.
Everything God decrees is good.
In 1696, the government had imposed a tax for each window on a house, and this led to many windows being bricked up.
you doing out here? Nah, the joy of the Most High is your strength. You gotta come on in, praise. You're gonna feel a little bit better. The praise don't stop.
This is the day that Yah has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it. Cause in that day I will reach out his hand and save his remnant. Innocent, no blemishes. A heart surrendered to his wish to repent. Open my inbox. Oh, what them questions is? What you gonna do when you get tired? I'll cast my burdens, yep. And you feel like closing your eyes. Let him lead me every step. How you gonna get through all the seas? Supernatural. I'ma just keep making hits for my people. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. Every day I say, this is the day that the Most High Yah has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. Every day I say, this is the day that the Most High Yah has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. See, that's the only way that I can get through. Praises up, stabilize the mental. Now, I don't really know what they all into. Wood and stone, that ain't my kinfolk. Gotta keep them curses off. Full armor, put the verses on. I just wanna be right when he comes. In the morning, I will give him the praise. In the evening, I will call on his name. This is the way a true soldier is trained. If you really wanna get in them gates, open my messages. What them questions is? Cause there's a way we can drink rain from the heavens, yeah. What you gonna do when you get tired? I'll cast my burdens, yeah. And you feel like closing your eyes. Let him lead me every step. How you gonna get through all the seas? Supernatural. I'ma just keep making hits for my people. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. Every day I say, this is the day that the Most High Yah has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. Every day I say, this is the day that the Most High Yah has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. Wicked keeps a man, 'cause I live life on my dad. Storing up rewards that will last. Eternal life I have. Wicked keeps a man, 'cause I live life on my dad. Storing up rewards that will last. Eternal life I have. Every day I say, this is the day that the Most High Yah has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. Every day I say, this is the day that the Most High Yah has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. The praise don't stop. No, no, the praise don't stop. This song was written, mixed, mastered, and produced by Queen O.
Lift up your eyes and follow me. lay down your works, they mean nothing. Present yourself as a sacrifice, holy unto the Father of lights. Don't fall away, don't fall away. Climbing to reach the mountaintop, we forget it's your footstool. Striving in vain to get what already belongs to you. All my desires, they're sitting at your feet. Oh, but we must learn to seek your face. Oh, don't fall away. If your grip is slipping and your feet start tripping, steady the boat, steady your hope. If your grip is slipping and your feet start tripping, stay in the race. Steady your faith. If your grip is slipping and your feet start tripping, steady the boat, steady your hope. If your grip is slipping and your feet start tripping, stay in the race. Steady your faith. Oh, cast down some, hope you win in Christ alone. No matter what may come or go, hold on to the faith you know. Oh, cast down some, hope you win Christ alone. No matter what may come or go, hold on to the truth you know. Ooh, yeah. Don't you give up, no. He's always faithful.
Love, as I have loved you. What does that really mean? Sometimes it's hard to understand what Jesus meant when he said it, because in the world that we live in, people love us based on circumstance or preference. Like, if I like what you like, you'll like me. Or if I do what you do, you'll accept me. Yet the one that should have rejected me because I wasn't at all like him didn't. Matter of fact, in spite of my imperfections, failures, and flaws, Christ saw something in me that was worth reconciling back to him. So it's no longer I who live, but he who lives through me, and gives me the courage to fearlessly love you, despite what you do to me, or how you treat me, at my job, at my school, at my church, even in my own family. So let's not view each other in light of our earthly stature, but more as Christ's ambassadors, showing the world that we who are once blinded to this love have tasted this love and lived to share his love. I believe this, and only this, will help put an end to hate and animosity. It ain't no wishful thinking, man. It's his philosophy. And prayerfully, it's our democracy. That if we did, it would change everything.